Hey, Jace, come on over here. How's it going, big guy?
What do you think, old Jimmy Lee here? I'm supposed to be fancy for you. Do you like this shirt?
Huh? You like it?
That
You
must
like
be
it?
them.
All right. Go over there. Yeah. Whoa.
Let's see who's at the door. Who's at the door?
Oh.
Hello, Mrs. Quartermain, Edward.
Oh, do call me Lila. Hello, Jason.
So nice of you to come.
Well, after all, we're neighbors now, even though that doesn't please some members of my family. Why, Jimmy Lee?
Lila? Edward?
What a lovely shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Why don't you come on in and sit down, and the tea will be ready in a moment.
Oh, how nice. How's my big boy?
You really shouldn't be seen here too often, you know.
Why's that?
You know very well why not. Alan and Monica would throw a fit.
How would they find
Oh,
out?
believe me, they'll know. Monica has the finest tuned radar this side of the Strategic Arms Command.
Well, I just came here to visit my little nephew.
Well, fine, but just try to do it when there's less chance of them showing up.
Aren't they at the hospital?
Yeah, but they could be home any moment now. I hate to think of the fireworks that could go off if they knew you were here.
Okay, I'll go. Look, I'm gonna leave.
Oh, so soon?
Oh, dear, and I did want to visit with you.
Well, Lila, we'll do it some other time, dear.
All right.
Look, I'll pick you up at 8 o'clock. We'll go to the casino, and you be ready.
Okay, I'll see
Jace?
you then.
See you later, kid. Bye.
How's my boy,
I just couldn't believe it. I walk up to the desk and I'm checking out early, and then all of a sudden Jessie goes along and she glares at me, and then Mark Dante too.
Look, Jessie and Mark do not glare.
Hi. Listen, you would think that occasionally someone would be glad that they would get out of the hospital earlier, but no. I mean, here's somebody I know will be very happy to see us.
What are you two doing here?
I'm wrong.
Are you happy to see us, Stella?
Well, yes, but they didn't expect you for another hour yet.
They? Who's they?
Oh, me. I didn't expect you for another hour.
Anything wrong?
Oh, no, nothing's wrong. No.
No. Where are my mother and father?
You mean Mr. and Mrs. Quartermain?
Well, sometimes known as Edward and Lila.
Well, they went out to dinner.
Really? Then why is the table set for 4?
Oh, well, they went out, and then they decided to come home to dinner, and then the car broke down.
Really? The car's out front.
They must have walked.
Lila is incapable of walking into town, Stella. But she is quite capable of walking around the grounds, isn't she?
I didn't say that.
No, I know you didn't. It's written all over your face.
What's all over her face?
The truth is all over her face. They were quite capable of walking around the grounds, possibly down to the gatehouse.
Oh, I didn't tell you that.
That's all right. I figured it all out all by myself. How could they?
Oh, just one little visit, I'm sure, Monica.
Really, one little visit? Well, Heather is going to make sure that it's not going to be the last visit. And this is not going to happen, Alan.
What difference does it make, really?
Plenty. The conniving little witch is not going to use an illegitimate grandson to endear her to the Quartermain bosom, which we know is stuffed with Quartermain money.
Oh, calm down, Monica, please.
No, I'm not going to calm down until you break up that little party, and I mean right now.
Anything to prevent a scene. Excuse me.
Thank you.
Sorry, Dr. Quartermain.
Don't worry about it, Stella. All you have to do is beware of blondes bearing gifts.
Excuse me?
You just look out for Heather Weber.
Jason. Where did you Oh, Edward, you really have lost your heart to that little boy.
Well, you know, I've been studying his eyes. Look at him, Lila. Who do they remind you of?
Well, it's hard for me to tell. You keep moving him around.
Me. I swear he has my eyes.
You know something, Edward?
I think you're right.
You know you certainly have done wonders with him, Heather.
I don't know how much it means for me to hear you say that.
He seems such a happy little boy.
That's amazing, considering all the trauma he's been through.
Poor little thing.
You know, I've adored him since the day he was born. And then when Susan died, well, left such a void in my life. She and I were so close.
Oh, you were?
Certainly, we were more like sisters than cousins.
Seems to me I remember a lot of squabbling going on between you two, especially around the time of her unfortunate demise.
Well, no more fighting than what usually goes on between two sisters. I mean, underneath that, there was a lot of, well, deep love, genuine affection.
which you are now passing on to the child.
Well, you know how it is when you have children.
Yes, dear. They can bring such a lot of joy and meaning into one's life.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of headaches, too.
Well, no, not at that age. At this age, they are pure joy. I used to have a child of my own, Stephen Lars. I was never allowed to raise him. But it seems with Jason, I've been given a second chance.
Yeah, I remember when Alan was a little boy, it used to bring tears to my eyes just to watch him play on the floor.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Edward. You hardly paid any attention to it.
Oh, that is not true.
Oh, you know, once when Alan was around 8 years old, Edward told him, don't speak to me again until you're 24 years old and out of business school.
No.
Well, that's true. I did do that. But even so, I still love the little shaver. I even took him to a ball game or two.
Oh, yes, indeed. He would drop him off at the gate so that he could go off and see one of his mistresses.
How did you know? Oh, don't be ridiculous. Look, after all these years, this woman is still worried about losing me.
Let's see. But all of that aside, there's no deeper affection than between child and parent. I never really realized that till my own mother died.
Yes, losing a parent can be very difficult.
Still, he's helped me get through the pain. I just see his smiling face when I wake up in the morning and helps me get through the day. Wonder who that could be. Who could that be?
Something out. Let's see how we get.
Oh, Alan.
Hi.
Come in.
Hey, Alan, get in here. Look at this little tyke go.
Hey, listen, Father, we really must go back. Stella's got dinner on the table.
This'll only take a minute.
Oh, do
Gotta
look
go
at
to the
Alan.
house.
Look, he's adorable. Look at him.
What are you doing?
He's walking around here. Come on. Alan, take a look at his eyes. I swear they're the image of mine.
Let me see your eyes. Are you got Grandpa's eyes? Let me see your mouth. Oh, I think you have my mouth. Give me a kiss with that mouth.
Why don't you stay and have some tea?
Nice kiss that is. Okay, I think I'd like some. You want a cup of tea with me? No? Want a glass of milk? What would you like? Want a cookie?
Come on, Heather, open the door before I break it down.
Great.
Hello, Monica. How nice to see you. I thought I recognized your voice.
Better put on your crash helmet, Alan.
Hi. Listen, I can explain it all.
Yes, I'll bet you can.
Now, please don't be cross with Alan. He did tell us about Stella.
Stella?
Well, yes, he told us that Stella was very angry because dinner was going to get cold.
Oh, yes, she's completely unhinged and is throwing a tantrum at this very moment.
She must have been taking some lessons from somebody we know.
This is just as much your fault as it is Alan's, you know.
Well, now, don't worry, dear. Edward will talk to Stella because he could always get on the right side of
This
her.
has nothing to do with Stella.
I thought you said it had.
Oh, wouldn't you like to sit down and join us for some tea?
Do I look like I want to sit down, Heather?
Oh, come on, Monica. Just a few minutes. It won't hurt you.
Oh, yes, it will. No, because I really don't want to intrude on this lovely little gathering here.
Your whole family here.
I'll say you are. And the only thing missing in this little family portrait is another Quartermain blunder, Jimmy Lee Holt.
Well, that was the most pleasant dinner we've had in years.
What are you talking about, Pleasant? Monica didn't say a word to anybody during the entire meal.
As I said, that was the most pleasant meal we've had in years.
Now, if Monica wishes to remain silent, that is her affair. There's no reason to condemn her.
Oh, please, don't start defending her.
I'm not defending anyone. I'm just on the side of peace in this household. And I will not have the two of you bullying her.
Peace in this house. Why don't you come out and admit it, Mother? I mean, you two are going to stick together on this, right?
Well, perhaps you're right, dear, but look at this thing logically. Yes, you may want the child to remain near you. I can understand that. But what about appearances? It would look terrible.
Well, you didn't mind Jimmy Lee.
On condition he didn't stay in this house.
All right. This is over, this entire discussion. I will handle Monica. Don't worry.
You? When was the last time you won an argument with Monica?
Don't worry about it. She will listen to me.
All this fuss. Can you imagine what she might have done if Jimmy Lee were there, too?
If Jimmy Lee were there, I would have thrown him out myself.
Dear, all this talk about violence.
There you go, upsetting and fighting with your mother.
Now, if you mention my delicate condition, I am not going to stand delicateness. Come into to the living room.
I'm not going into the living room. I'm going to straighten this out once and for all.
For once and for all.
I said that. I will do it.
Well, see that you do. You better.
I will.
Come along, Edward. Come along.
Monica, please, can I just talk to you? Please, Monica. Monica, please listen to me. Oh, come on. It was one incident. Can't we please forget about it?
I would sure like to, except it's the only thing I think about.
Well, you need something else to think about. Something that would be fun.
Setting fire to the gatehouse?
Oh, come on. Be serious now. I mean, why don't we go to the casino, just you and me?
I don't want to.
Oh, come on. We'll go there, we'll play some roulette, we'll play some blackjack, we'll drink oodles of champagne.
Well, the last is rather attractive.
Then say yes that you'll go.
Okay, I'll go. Because being around here lately has become monumentally depressing. That's because of Heather and that child here.
Forget about that. Why don't you put on your red dress? It always perks up your stomach.
I'll wear what I want to wear.
You do whatever you want, darling.
I will.
I know.
That's telling her, Ellen.
Father, why don't you...
Why don't I what?
Why don't you stow it?
Alan.
See?
Yes. How about the roulette table first?
Listen, I seem to remember something about having some champagne.
And champagne you shall have.
Good. I think we should have a drink and relax, and then I can watch you lose all the money.
Oh, thanks.
I tell you something. I should have bet on the pass line, just like you said.
Well, if only you'd listened to me. I'd never steer you wrong.
I don't like losing $100 in a couple of seconds.
Oh, forget about it. It's not going to mean anything to you in a month or so anyway.
Yeah, but I've been poor way too long not to appreciate the value of a buck.
That's all behind you now. You're going to be the new big man in Port Charles.
You think so?
I know so. And that means Jimmy Lee Hope gets anything he wants.
You know something? This is the best idea you have had in ages.
Monica, why don't we go into the casino? We'll play just for a little while.
Discussed having some... I don't believe it.
Monica, please,
I really don't believe it. Everywhere I go, that woman shows up. It's like a reoccurring nightmare.
Champagne, fast.
I'm leaving.
Monica, stay. Have one drink, please.
You can just go pop a few corks with your pals over there if you want to. I have no intention of staying here any longer.
Monica,
I mean
wait.
it.
What would be one drink?